Generally speaking, when I'm making videos, I try to keep when I'm making the daily videos, I'm trying to keep the stuff that I read at least within a day or two of the day I'm recording it. So if I'm recording on the what the fuck is today? Yeah, if I'm recording on the 9th, which is today, then generally speaking, I would try to get an article from like the 7th or the 8th to read. This thing is from the 29th of March, but I didn't see it until today, and it's too fucking funny. It's just way too funny to see like this journalist rent a Tesla and then drive it around DC just to see people's reaction. And they reacted, especially in a leftist shithole like DC, the way they reacted to him driving around in the Cybertruck was just priceless. It's hilarious stuff. Uh, so I couldn't help myself. I saw it this morning and I was just like, no, I gotta read this. I gotta make a video on this one. So yeah, this is a day in the life of a Cybertruck driver. It's just shout out to the Atlantic. As you can see, I'm using this archive of the Atlantic because I'm not paying for the Atlantic subscription to read this article. Sorry, not sorry. But yeah, the guy that wrote this is Sahil Desai. A day inside America's most hated car. The Cybertruck is 7,000 pounds. Is a 7,000 pound Rorschach test, and that's funny to me. I think it is funny. It's funny. I did laugh. Yeah, as you can see, this was posted, like I said, March 29th. So about 2 weeks ago. Well, no, about, fuck, what, 10, 11 days ago. So yeah, about 2 weeks. Only a few days off from 2 weeks. But yeah, this is kind of long, but I can't help myself because the way people reacted to allegedly the way, according to this dude's article, like the way people reacted to him just driving around a Cybertruck is so fucking funny. On the first Sunday of spring, surrounded by row houses and magnolia trees, I came to a horrifying realization. My mom was right. I had been flipped off at least 17 times, called a motherfucker in both English and Spanish, and a fucking dork. A woman in a blue sweater stared at me, sighed, and said, "You should be ashamed of yourself." All this because I was driving a Tesla Cybertruck. I had told my mom about my plan to rent this thing and drive. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. You see what I'm talking about? Like, and that's just the first paragraph. You know, uh, like of the way that people reacted to him driving around in the Cybertruck. It's hilarious. I had told my mom about my plan to rent this thing and drive it around Washington, D.C. for a day. A journalistic experiment to understand what it's like behind the wheel of America's most hated car. Wow, be careful, she texted back right away. Both of us had read the stories of Cybertrucks possibly being set on fire, bombed with Molotov cocktails, and vandalized in every way imaginable. People have targeted the car and Tesla as a whole to protest Elon Musk's role in Donald Trump's administration. But out of sheer masochism or stupidity, I still went ahead and spent the day driving one. As I idled with the windows down on the street in the Mount Pleasant neighborhood, a woman glared at me from her front porch. "Fuck you and this truck and Elon," she yelled. "You drive a Nazi truck." She slammed her front door and then opened it again. "I hope someone blows your shit up." Jesus Christ. "I hope someone kills you. How dare you drive a Cybertruck, you evil, evil man." These people are absolutely pathetic. It is, you know, I don't want to say shocking because I'm not shocked about how pathetic these people are acting, but you know, they like they're everybody. They're such titty babies. Like that's the only thing I can think to describe them as, just titty babies. Fucking little crybabies who can't stand to see, like, it's just a truck, guys. Like, yes, you may not like Elon Musk, but it's just a truck. Who cares? It's just a car, you know? Grow the fuck up. Earlier that day, my first stop was the heart of the resistance, the DuPont Circle Farmers Market. The people there wanted to see the organic asparagus and lion's mane mushrooms. What they did not want to see was a stainless steel, supposedly bulletproof Cybertruck. Every red light created new moments for mockery. You fucker, yelled a bicyclist as he pedaled past me on P Street. The diners eating the diners. Okay, as in the people are diners. They are dining, not like the diners. Like you know what I mean. I'm sorry. The diners eating brunch on the sidewalk nearby laughed and cheered. Then came the next stoplight. A woman eating outside at La Pain Quotidienne. I don't know how to say that properly. I'm American. A woman eating outside of some fucking place with a name I can't pronounce gave me the middle finger for a solid 20 seconds, all without interrupting her conversation. So imagine that. You're just sitting in your Cybertruck. You look over to the left. There's a woman just talking to somebody at a table having lunch, except she's holding up one hand, just flipping you the bird. You just shoot him the bird. Fucking Aqua Teen reference. I hope you could see this because I'm doing it as hard as I can. The anger is understandable. No, it's not. This is, after all, the radioactive center of Doge's blast radius. On the same block where I was yelled at in Mount Pleasant, I spotted a hand-drawn sign in one window. CFPB, it read, inside of a giant red heart. And at one point, I tailed behind a black Tesla Model Y with the bumper sticker Anti-Elon Tesla Club. But the Cybertruck stands out on America's roads about as much as LeBron James in a kindergarten classroom. No matter where you live, the car is nearly 7,000 pound is a nearly 7,000 pound Rorschach test. It has become the defining symbol of the second Trump term. If you hate Trump and Musk, it is a giant MAGA hat, Pepe the Frog on wheels, or the swastika. If you love Trump and Musk, the Cybertruck is, well, a giant MAGA hat. On Monday, FBI Director Kash Patel called Tesla vandalism domestic terrorism. It is. As he announced a Tesla task force to investigate such acts. And that's because they're clearly coordinated. There's obviously some kind of coordination. All these people had the exact same idea at the exact same time, spread across multiple states. Fuck off. That is coordinated. At least it looks coordinated, like in my opinion. Alex Jones has trolled Tesla protesters from the back of his own Cybertruck, bullhorn in hand. Kid Rock has a Cybertruck with a custom Dukes of Hazzard paint job. Love it. The far-right podcaster Tim Pool owns one and says he'll buy another because it will own the libs. That's funny. Kanye West has 3. Trump's 17-year-old granddaughter was gifted one by the president and another by Musk. Yep, so I'm pretty sure they're talking about Kai Trump. If that would be Don Jr.'s daughter, I believe. I mean, he has multiple grandkids. Kai might not be the one I'm referring to. Might not be the one he's referring to, I mean. But, yeah, thumbs down, the bird. Look at that, just shooting the bird. When I parked the car for lunch in Tacoma Park, where I support federal workers signs were staked into the grass, I heard 2 women whispering at a nearby table, "Should we egg it?" In this economy, that's pretty good. Over and over again, as pedestrians and drivers alike glared at me, I had to remind myself it's just a car. And it's kind of a cool one, too. It can apparently outpace a Porsche 911 while simultaneously towing a Porsche 911, or it can power a house for up to 3 days. My day in the Cybertruck wasn't extremely hardcore, but the 8 onboard cameras made city driving more bearable than I was expecting. Regardless of what you do with it, the car is emission-free. The underlying technology of the Cybertruck is amazing. Lauren McDonald, an EV analyst at the firm Perrin, told me. The exterior undersells just how ridiculous it is. Just before I returned the car on Monday morning, I took an impromptu Zoom meeting from the giant in-car touchscreen. It had a single windshield wiper that is so long, more than 5 feet, that Musk has compared it to a katana. I mean, yeah, by all accounts, the Cybertruck, to drive it, even if you think it looks ugly, like, apparently driving it is dope. Like, it feels good to drive, and the interior is, like, it's got all the Tesla bells and whistles, I live in a small rural town, and we got a guy here who has a Cybertruck. Obviously, he's one of the rich people in town because he can afford the fucking thing, but, I see a Cybertruck driving around. I live in MAGA country, though, so it's not a big deal. Like, people see a Cybertruck around here, and they go, hey, it's a Cybertruck. They don't go, fuck you for driving a Cybertruck, you Nazi. or anything stupid like that. After 10 hours of near constant hazing, I navigated to an underground parking lot to recharge the truck and my battered self-image. Someone had placed a sticker just beneath the Tesla logo. Elon Musk is a parasite. It read. Still, even in DC, I got a fair number of thumbs up as my Cybertruck zoomed by in the areas most frequented by tourists, of course. Because, you know, people that live in DC are lefty shitheels, but the people that visit DC tend to be like people who at least have some reverence for the country. Not all of them are going to be rightoids, but, you come to DC because, you want to see the country's capital. And the people who tend to be into that sort of thing tend to lean more to the right. So they would see a Cybertruck and go like, "Hey, Cybertruck, go. Good job, buddy." That kind of thing. Near the National Mall, a man in a red bandana and shorts yelled, "That's awesome," and cheered. Perhaps it was an attempt at MAGA solidarity, or maybe not. Lots of people just seemed to think it looked cool. One guy in his 20s wearing a Make Money Not Friends hoodie frantically took out his phone to film me making a left turn. Even in the bluest neighborhoods of DC, near a restaurant named Mark's Cafe, and a Ruth Bader Ginsburg mural, kids could not get enough of the Cybertruck. One girl in Tacoma Park saw me and started screaming, "Cybertruck, Cybertruck!" Later, a boy spotted the car and frantically rode his scooter to try and get a better look. Just before sunset, I was struggling to change lanes near George Washington University when two teens stopped to stare at me from the sidewalk. I was anxiously checking directions on my phone and clearly had no idea where to go. "Must be an Uber," one said to the other. So yeah, it wasn't like all bad, and that's fair. You don't expect it to be 100% bad, but the people who were upset by it were really upset by it. By 9 p.m., I'd had enough. I valeted my hotel with its Tibetan bowl sound healing classes. I'm sorry. I valeted at my hotel with its Tibetan bowl sound healing classes and got a nervous look from the attendant. I can't blame anyone who sees the car as the stainless steel embodiment of the modern right. This week, a county sheriff in Ohio stood in front of a green Cybertruck and derided Tesla vandals as little fat people that live in their mom's basement and wear their mom's pajamas. Based. But it is also a tragedy that the Cybertruck has become the most partisan car in existence, more so than the Prius or the Hummer or any kind of Subaru. The Cybertruck, an instantly memeable and very weird car, could have helped America fall in love with EVs. Instead, it is doing the opposite. The revolt against Tesla is not slowing down, and in some cases, people are outright getting rid of their cars. Is it really a win that Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona exchanged his all-electric Tesla sedan for a gas-guzzling SUV? Well, I mean, when you consider how much energy is actually needed to produce, like, I mean, sure, the overall carbon footprint is probably not as high, like car for car, but like, it puts a lot of it taxes the electric grid a lot. If everybody was driving EVs, like, we couldn't generate enough power to, if every car in America was swapped out with an EV, like, we don't have the infrastructure for it, Then again, Republicans aren't buying Cybertrucks en masse. It's too expensive and too weird. Because most Republicans still want, like, just trucks and SUVs and gas-powered cars, these kinds of things. Buying any Tesla might be a way to own the libs, but the right has proved maddeningly resistant to going electric. Quote, "Your average MAGA Trump supporter isn't going to buy a Tesla," McDonald, the EV analyst, said before the car shipped in November 2023. Musk predicted that Tesla would sell 250,000 a year. He hasn't even sold 1/5 of that in total, and sales are falling. Neither Tesla or Musk responded for a request for comment. Yeah, I mean, that doesn't shock me. The Cybertruck is not for everyone. And I mean, I could have told you that just by looking at it. It looks weird. It's really expensive. Like, I get it. I like the Cybertruck, at least to look at it. I've never driven one. If I had fuck you money, I would probably own one. I would own one of those. I would own a Cybertruck and a Tesla Roadster. And yeah, like, I don't have a problem with EVs in principle. So Yeah, but like I said, they're really expensive. They are very, very expensive cars. Now, here's the sticker for he's talking about earlier. This is the Model Y and anti-Elon Tesla club. The people who still want to own a Tesla but hate Elon Musk. Musk made a lot of other promises that haven't really panned out. The Cybertruck was supposed to debut at less than $40,000. The cheapest model currently available is double that. The vehicle, Musk said, would be really tough, not fake tough. Instead, its stainless steel side panels have fallen off because Tesla used the wrong glue. And that was just the most recent of the car's 8 recalls. The Cybertruck was supposed to be able to haul near infinite mass and serve briefly as a boat. Just 1 month alone, one Cybertruck's rear end snapped off in the test of its towing power, and another sank off the coast of Los Angeles while trying to off-road a jet ski from the bed. Not a good look. But it seems to be, I mean, that these are fairly rare instances of the Cybertruck, kind of having, all these problems. The Cybertruck, in that sense, is a perfect metaphor for Musk himself. The world's richest man has a bad habit of promising one thing and delivering another. X is supposed to be the everything app. Now it's a cesspool of white supremacy. Shut the fuck up. See? Yeah, okay. I mean, it is. There's a lot of fucking white supremacists on X. I mean, I get it. I see them all the time. But there's still plenty of lefties using X too. Doge was built as an attempt to make the government more nimble and tech savvy. Instead, the cuts have resulted in seniors struggling to get their Social Security checks. That's bullshit. So far, Musk has only continued to get richer and more powerful, while the rest of us have had to deal with the wreckage. Let that sink in, as he likes to say. The disaster of the Cybertruck is not that it's ugly or unconventional or absurdly pointy. It's that for most people, the car just isn't worth driving. So yeah, like, people are fucking insane, is what I took away from this. This guy's a lefty. He clearly doesn't like Doge. He clearly doesn't like the Trump administration. At least this final paragraph made that clear to me. He doesn't seem to particularly care for Elon Musk all that much. But they still, because he's driving the wrong car, his own side basically hazed him all fucking day long. So, it is what it is. These people are babies, titty babies, whiny little fucking adult children. These people are absolutely pathetic, and fuck them. That's what I say. Fuck them. Anyway, you know the drill at this point. If you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments below. Comment, by all means. Comment. That's really, really important. Like the video. Commenting is more important than liking, but do both. And follow the links and sub to my other channels and follow me on X. You know the drill at this point. Keep an eye out for the streams on Rumble. You know the drill. I started doing Clown War Chronicles again, my weekly podcast with my friend Liar. So, all the stuff I don't cover in these solo videos that I would like to cover, I do with him so that I have somebody to banter with. But yeah, throw me a bone.